Ladies and gentlemen, good morning still. The sun's piercing through the sky here at Aquatic Ballpark. You're watching EBSN, Eagles Baseball Sports Network. Umpires just having their meeting with their respective coaches here ahead of the second grade game between the visitors, the Canterbury Vikings, and your Manly Eagles. It's round 13 in the New South Wales State League. We'll run you through the lineups. First up, the Canterbury side. Leading off will be the second baseman, Riley Taylor. Miles Charby at centre field. Josh Pearl at shortstop. Adam Musto in the four-hole at third base. Nathan Howarth, the catcher, played in yesterday's under-18s game. Mike Laversha in left field. Bailey Curtis at first base. Kyle Yeo at right field. And Rob Moyler will have the designated hitter duties this afternoon. Rocky Yates will be the pitcher to start things for the Canterbury side. Your Manly Eagles line up this way. Brad John at shortstop leading things off. Adam O'Neill at centre field. Ben Sutton, the designated hitter. Daniel Goodsall at second base. Under 18s, Tom Butler will play first base after driving in the game-tying runs yesterday as the 18s escape with a 9-all draw. Trent Nickel will play third base. Chris Corey will start the game in right field. Kazu Maeda will do the catching, and Zach Newbold will play left field after missing out on yesterday's game due to other commitments. Starting on the mound today will be Leo Matsuo. Your umpires for this midday kickoff game. Behind the plate, Bob Crawford. At first base will be Mark Roberts, and third base, Billy Green. As the Manly side take to the diamond. We're only moments away from this game getting underway. If you are watching on the live stream, make sure you say g'day. Let us know who you are, where you're watching from. As always, if you've got any questions, fire them through. We'll answer them as best as we can. If not, we'll find an answer for you. Manly Eagles winning the third grade game 7-2. Led on offense by Scockler Hesse with 3 doubles. Nathan Stenning with no official at-bat, but 2 walks and reaching on a catcher's interference. Dean Story going the distance. Leo Matsuo going through his warm-up pitches. Matsuo on the season in second grade this year. 5.40 ERA through his 20 innings of work. 18 hits, 13 runs, 12 of those earned. Has struck out 17 but walked 22. So the walks have proved very costly for Manly and Leo Matsuo in this second grade. Manly second grade sporting a 4-5-1 record. And despite playing below 500, are holding on grimly to the 4th place. In fact, they have slipped back to 5th, equal with Central Coast, but with the Central Coast beating Manly the other week, they hold the tiebreaker for the 4th spot. Matsuo ahead early here with a cord strike, a foul, and then that pitch in for a ball. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And a big strikeout to finish things here. First at bat, first out for the Manly Eagles, and it's going to be in the way of a strikeout to the leadoff guy, Riley Taylor. Played in Wednesday night's 4-0 shutout victory for the Eagles. It's going to be Miles Charby now to bat for the Vikings. His brother Chase did a good job yesterday of shutting down the Manly bats after the Vikings took the lead. Miles Charby is ahead here, 2 balls and no strikes. Runs the count to 3-1 now. Fills it up, 3-2. Good to see Bob Crawford back in action. Good to have him down here on the Northern Beaches. As that ball is lifted into the sky. And Kazume Ida will make the catch. Fly out in foul territory. And it's 2 out here in the top of the first. Yes, Crawford took a nasty fastball out at Ryde a few weeks ago into the arm. That was in the Wednesday night contest against the Ryde Hawks off the pitching of Josh Gessner. So certainly not the pitcher you want to be taking a ground ball on. As Daniel Goodstill can't clean that one up at second base. That's going to be a hit here for Josh Pearl. I'm sure his old man, Paul Goodstill, will have something to say about that. I'm sure Paul's watching on from the North Coast. Regular viewer on EBSN. I'm sure I'll be getting a message from him shortly. As will Daniel after the game. Let's see with his first pitch to Musto. Adam Musto, the third baseman today for the Canterbury Vikings. He's ahead, 1 ball and no strikes. And that pitch missing for ball 2. So Musto ahead, 3 balls, no strikes here. It has been the walk that has hurt Leo Matsuo and the Manly side this year. So Leo will be trying to limit those free passes today. And he finds the zone with a strike. Back into this one, 3 balls and 1 strike. Miles Charby takes off. Daniel Goodstill cleans it up this time. Makes a strong throw over to Tom Butler at first base, and that'll be the 3rd out in the top of the first. Manly Eagles will come up with Brad Zorn, Adam O'Neill and Ben Sutton due to bat for the Eagles in the bottom of the first inning. So Rocky Yates is on the mound for the Canterbury Vikings here. He's going to face Manly shortstop Brad Zorn. Rocky Yates has pitched 8.2 innings in second grade this year with a 3.12 ERA. All three of his appearances have been out of the bullpen, and he's been credited with 2 wins in those 3 appearances. But he has Zorn here behind 2 balls and no strikes. Fires in a strike there. 2 balls and a strike now for Brad Zorn. That pitch below the knees for ball 3. Zorn hitting .304 on the season, 7 for 23. 3 runs scored and 3 RBIs. 4 walks and 3 strikeouts. And he will ground that ball to the shortstop, Josh Pearl. Throw it over to first base, and that'll be the first out of this bottom of the first inning. Amanil will bat with 1 out here. Centre fielder for the Eagles. And he takes the first pitch from Rocky Yates for strike 1. No balls on a strike here for Adam O'Neill. .231 hitter on the season through his 5 appearances. Split his time between first grade and second grade so far. And he'll be out on the 5-3 put at. So 2 quick outs here for Rocky Yates. It'll be Ben Sutton, the designated hitter today. 10 for 25 on the season. 400 batting average. Scored 4 runs. Has a double and a home run to his name. He lifts that ball up over the fence and foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. That pitch below the knees for ball 2. Sutton ahead, 2 balls and 1 strike. Sutton has 2 walks and 2 strikeouts against his name also this year. And that pitch is lifted into centre field. It's going to get over the head of the centre fielder. Sutton's going to trot into second base. It's going to be another double for the big designated hitter. That ball looked like it might have been a regulation pop-up, but they just kept going and going. And Manly going to have a runner in scoring position with 2 out. Miles Charby not able to track that one down. It's going to bring up Daniel Goodsell. Goodsell will take strike 1 on the knees. 4 for 12 on the season. Scored 6 times. Walked 3 times. Struck out 3 times. And has also been hit by a pitch twice. Another member of the Manly second grade side who has split time in the first grade side as well. Goodson pulls that one down to third base. Pick up and throw across the diamond. And that'll be all she wrote for the top of the first inning. So both teams without scoring the run. After the first inning on the Procar Automotive scoreboard, it's Manly 0, Canterbury 0. So Nathan Howarth gets the lead-off duties here in the top of the second inning. And he's quickly ahead, 2 balls and no strikes. So the Canterbury catch up. Nathan Howarth drawing the lead-off walk there. As I discussed in the pre-game, the walks have hurt Leo Matsuo and the Manly side this year, so he'll be looking to limit any damage done with that lead-off walk. As Mike Deversha steps in for the Vikings, he sees ball 1. So 5 straight balls so far from Matsuo. And he fires back with a strike. Lifts that ball up into the sky. Tom Butler's going to be underneath it. And he will make the catch right next to the base at first. Nathan Howarth straight back on the base in that occasion. So Matsuo finding his zone. Getting the first out here in the top of the second inning. It's going to bring up Bailey Curtis for the Vikings. 2 for 16 on the season through his 6 games. All starts with 1 run, 4 walks and 5 strikeouts. Another pitch there from Matsuo, just missing down. So a ball and a strike. Nathan Howard thrown out there at second base. The curveball breaking off the edge of the plate, well handled by the catcher, Kazu Maeda, and he comes up firing with a strong throw over to second base. You think with the way that ball fell, he wasn't much of a chance. But a good diving play as well by Brad Zorn helped get that one. And Leo Matsuo is going to get the strikeout to swing this to end this inning. And just like that, the leadoff walk turned into 3 quick outs for the Manly defense. It's going to be Tom Butler, Trent Nicol, and Chris Corey to come up to bat in the bottom of the second inning. So it's going to be Tom Butler to step in here, get things started for the Eagles. Bottom of the second. Tom Butler driving in the game, tying runs with a bases clearing double to the fence yesterday in the last inning. As the Eagles under 18s came all the way back from a 9-4 deficit. 9-5 deficit in the last inning. As Tom Butler fouls that one off for strike one ball and 1 strike. Tom Butler was left stranded on second base to finish the game with the score tied at 9. The Eagles certainly getting out of jail on that one. So Butler's ahead here, 3 balls and 1 strike. And that pitch below the knees. Now it's 3-1. It was 2-1 before that one. So the 3-1 count here for Butler. That's ball 4 down there. So that'll be a leadoff walk for Butler. So the man they called TJ steps up. Back at third base today. Splitting his time between third base, left field and right field. Such as the versatility of this Manly Eagles second grade squad. And he'll take the first pitch from Rocky Yates for a strike. Don't forget you can follow all the live action whilst you're tuning in to the broadcast, courtesy of Game Changer. jump on there. Look up the Manly Eagles second grade state league side. Become a fan and you get all the updates of when games are starting. Check out all the stats and keep up to date. You can do that with all the Manly Eagles state league sides and all the state league sides in all grades. As TJ fouls that one off, extending his at bat. 0-2 the count will remain. Rocky Yates pitching ahead after losing Butler on the walk. Butler standing at first. Butler fouling off that curveball from Yates, keeping himself in play. Nickel rather, not Butler. And that pitch just below the knees. A ball and 2 strikes now for Trent Nickel. Check over at first. Butler down head first slide. TJ, one of the veterans of this Manly Eagles side. Batted primarily in the lead-off 2-hole spot last year in the championship campaign. Started the season off in the 2-hole. Has jumped around the top and the bottom of the order. So very versatile bat in this lineup for Chris Corey. As he steps in for the 2-1 pitch now. 1-2 pitch rather. That ball's in the dirt. Tom Butler taking off. Moving over on the wild pitch. Trent Nickel working his count even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that ball hit up to the middle. Cleaned up by Pearl at short. Over to 1 for the throw. For the out. That's going to be the manager, Chris Corey, stepping in. Inserting himself in the lineup today. Few players missing through injury and other commitments. He'll start the game and then go to his bench after the 3rd inning. Plenty of options for him over there. Max Milner, Sean Parkinson, Mikey Amir. Most likely change will be Mikey Amir coming into third base. And Trent Nickel moving over to right field, which has been the way for the last few weeks. Chris Corey taking strike 1 at the knees. Fouling that one off, and he's behind. No balls and 2 strikes. Chris Corey will be looking for a quality at-bat here. Move Butler over to third. Possibly score him and the first run of this game. And just on cue, just like that, Chris Corey is in the action. Butler moving over to third base. Chris Corey keeping his hands inside it, defending it, pushing it into right field. Ball cleaned up there by Cole Yeo, restricting Tom Butler's movements on the bases. Holding up at third. Runners on the corners here for the Eagles. For the catcher, Kazu Maeda. And he's behind, no balls and 2 strikes. Eagles batting with 1 out here in the bottom of the second, threatening to score the first run of this game. Rocky Yates checks Chris Corey over at first. And Kazu Maeda will go down on strikes. That'll be the second out of the inning. So bring up Zach Newbold. Making his first second grade start. And the runners will move up on that wild pitch. Tom Butler coming in to score. Chris Corey going up to 2. Turning hard halfway to third base. But back in. And he moves himself into scoring position. 1 ball and no strikes for Newbold. So 2-2 here for Newbold. He punches that one, but that's going to get out foul. Chris Corey in scoring position. Live wire on the bases. He'll be hoping his young charger and Newbold can get the job done here. Score another run. Give Manly an early lead. That ball outside, so 3-2. Newbold works the count full. He'll be hoping one way or another he can turn the lineup over to the Manly leadoff, Brad Zorn. Yates with the set. Newbold punches that ball into right field. And it's going to get down for a base hit in front of the right fielder, Kai Yeo. And Zach Newbold will drive in another run for the Eagles. They'll go out to an early 2-0 lead. Good at bat there by Zach Newbold. Filling the count up 3-2. And then just like Chris Corey did, put the ball into right field, move the runner over. And it's an RBI and a second run for the Eagles. So that'll bring up Brad Zorn. Takes ball 1 on the knees. 1 ball and a strike. Ball down in the dirt. Zach Newbold's going to get up to second base on the pass ball. Turns around second. Thinks about 3. Ball just getting away from Nathan Howarth there. 2 balls and a strike for Zorn. Eagles threatening here with another runner in scoring position. And Zorn fills it up to 3-1. Big ball 4 base hit opportunity coming up here for the Manly veteran shortstop. And there it is, ball 4. So Rocky Yates just struggling with a bit of control here. A couple of walks in this inning. 2 walks, 2 hits, and 2 outs. 2-0 in the bottom of the second. So plenty of 2s involved in that one. Andrew Cook comes out to have a quick chat with Rocky Yates. As I mentioned in the broadcast in the 18th game yesterday, whenever a manager comes out to have a chat with his pitcher, there's a good chance you might see an out in the next at-bat. So we'll see what Adam O'Neill can do here. Manly centre fielder today, in for his second at-bat in the second inning. Grounded out to the third baseman in his first at-bat. Zach Newbold over at second. Looking to score another run for the Eagles on anything put in play by Adam O'Neill here. And that's down for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Big 2-0 pitch coming up here for O'Neill. Definitely be looking to do something with it. And he does exactly that. Puts it into left field. Newbold's going to turn around third. He's going to come home. That's going to be another run for the Eagles. Brad Zorn moving all the way up to third. Adam O'Neill into second with a 2-base hit. The Eagles going to jump out to a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the second. Ben Sutton already with a double today. Looking to do something very similar here. Get the ball on the outfield grass. Adam O'Neill with plenty of speed at second base. Will definitely be looking to score. As Sutts takes ball 2 there. 2 balls and no strikes. That pitch in for strike 1, so back into this one. 2 balls and a strike. Lead there by Adam O'Neill at second base. Sutton punches that one up the middle. It's not going to get away from Josh Pearl. takes it over the base, throws it across the first, and that'll be the third out of the inning. The Manly Eagles get 3. It's on the Procar Automotive scoreboard. It's Manly 3, Canterbury 0. Scott Yee will lead things off here for the Vikings. Top of the third. And Leo Matsuo fires in a strike to get this one started. Yo-Yo without a hit in second grade so far this year. Only 4 at-bats to his name in his 2 starts. And he's behind here. No balls and 2 strikes. And the curveball just missing outside. 1 and 2 now for the Canterbury right fielder. And that one missing up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Change up. So Yea's worked it all the way back from 0-2, now 3 and 2. And he gets a swing and miss. So Leo with the strikeout. Third one for the day. 1 in each inning so far. And that pitch is up for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes. It's going to be the DH, Rob Moyler. Moyler and Matsuo, teammates at UNSW during the winter, as Tom Butler hustles all the way over to the fence on that foul ball, but it will get out of play. And it's now 2 balls and 1 strike. Moyler 4 for 7 in his 3 games so far. Batting average of 571. It's only a small sample size, but does have a double to his name. He fouls that ball off, evening up the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a swing and miss there on the curveball. from Matsuo. That's the second out of the third inning. And I'll turn the lineup over for the Vikings. Strikeout number 4 for Matsuo. And that slider in for strike 1. A ball and a strike now for Riley Taylor. Misses that one. Nice curveball by Matsuo. A ball and 2 strikes. And the Manly starters 1 pitch away from ending this one. And bringing Daniel Goodsall, Tom Butler and Trent Nicol back to bat. And there it is. Strike 3 swinging for Riley Taylor. So 1-2-3 inning. All strikeouts for Matsuo. Relying on his off speed to get the job done. And after the top of the third, the Manly Eagles 3 lead the Canterbury Vikings 0. 2-2 for Tom Butler. Manly Eagles batting in the bottom of the third inning. Daniel Goodsall drawing the lead-off walk. Butler walking himself in the second inning to start the scoring for the Eagles. And he lifts up the 2-2 pitch over into foul territory. None out here. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Just enough cloud cover to prevent the sun from making the ground too hot. So not a bad day for baseball. Little bit muggy. Tom Butler fouls that ball off over the right side. So still 2-2 for the young Manly first baseman. Butler hits that ball on the ground to the shortstop. Pearl, who goes to one. Gets the first out in Goodsall at second base. But Butler's too quick up the line and he'll be aboard on the fielder's choice. Goodsall raised on the 6-5 play at second. So there'll be one out for the third baseman. Trent Nickel could find himself in right field when the Eagles come out in defence in the next inning. And he takes the ball down for ball one. Tom Butler takes off on the hit and run. Trent Nickel fouls it off. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Home plate umpire Bob Crawford just asking for those foul balls to be thrown back in. State league clubs don't have the budget that ABL and Major League clubs do, so there isn't an endless supply of baseballs. State league game usually goes through about 4 or 5 balls, and that ball's down in the dirt. Tom Butler's going to move up to second base on the wild pitch. So Manly now with another runner in scoring position, looking to cash it in and extend their 3-0 lead. That pitch inside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Now as signalled by home plate umpire Bob Crawford. And a big swing and a miss there by Trent Nickel. Runs the count full to 3-2. One more chance for him to knock in Tom Butler and get himself aboard. He pokes that ball into right field. Kyle Yeo underneath it. Makes the catch on this occasion. Butler returns to second. And that'll be the second out of the inning. So with 2 out, that'll be Chris Corey. Butler standing at second. Chris Corey takes that first offering from Rocky Yates for a strike. And that's no balls and 1 strike. Quick time call just before Rocky Yates pulled it. Long pause there by the Canterbury pitcher. Chris Corey will be looking to poke one into right field again, as he did in his last at bat. Scored Tom Butler from second base, and that's strike 2 to the knees. So 0-2 for the Manly skipper. Similar situation as his last at bat. And he lifts that ball foul. Count will remain 0-2 for Corey. Another foul ball. Corey going deep into this count. Another foul ball thrown her over Corey. Keeping his at-bat going. Really wants to cash in. Tom Butler at first base. So the 0-2 pitch here from Rocky Yates is down in the dirt. Tom Butler takes off to third base, sees it in the dirt, and he'll get there on the pass ball. Nathan Howard just unable to take that cleanly. That's going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes. And strike 3 on the knees for Chris Corey. That'll finish the third inning. Eagles not able to add to the tally, but they do have a 3-0 lead on the Procar Automotive scoreboard. So Miles Sharby swings at the first pitch on offer from the Manly starter Leo Matsuo, and he's behind, no balls and one strike. That pitch just missing down for ball one. A ball and a strike now for Miles Sharby. So 3-1 for the leadoff. No pitch missing outside. And it'll be a leadoff walk for the young centre fielder. The last time Leo Matsuo walked the leadoff, it ended up being a 1-2-3 inning. Faced only 2 above the minimum so far today. He finds the zone there on the shortstop, Josh Pearl. No balls and a strike. No pitch missing away for a ball, 1-1. Josh Pearl 7 for 13 on the season with 3 runs scored through his 3 games played. All starts, 2 doubles, 2 triples, 3 RBIs. Has walked once, struck out 3 times. And he grounds that ball through the left side for a single. Going to move Miles Sharby over to second base. And the Canterbury have something going here with 2 runners on and none out. It's going to bring up the third baseman, Adam Musto. Musto grounded out to Daniel Goodsall to finish the first inning. Shapes the bunt and bunts foul. So Musto behind, no balls and a strike. Not bunting on this occasion. Cutting the ball hard over towards the Manly dugout. Straight at first grade manager Massa Endo. Avoids it, but it bounces off the black screen in front of the dugout. Even with protective screens, we've still got players and managers in danger. So 0-2 for Musto. Fouls it off over the Manly dugout again. Keeping himself alive. Matsuo made to work hard here. And he grounds that ball over to the right side. Tom Butler picks it up, steps on the base. So as good as a bunt there for Musto, gets the job done. Moves the runners over to second and third. Canterbury now with 2 runners in scoring position, looking to close this margin to 1. It's going to be the catcher, Nathan Howarth, the bat. He takes ball 1 down. Slider missing outside from Matsuo. So 2 balls and no strikes for Howarth. Three balls and no strikes now. Excuse me. And that'll be ball 4 upstairs. It'll load the bases for the Vikings. So Howarth, walking in both of his at-bats today, was thrown out, caught stealing after leading off the second with a walk. So a bit of a jam here for Leo Matsuo. Needs to find his zone here if he's to extinguish the threat. And that'll be ball 1 to Michael Aversha, the left fielder for the Vikings. And that'll be a swinging strike for strike 1. 1-1 now for Matsuo. Matsuo dragging that one across the plate. 2 balls and a strike now for Laversha. Ground ball will be pretty handy for the Eagles right here. Corners playing in. Goodsill and Zorn back for the double play. And that pitch is going to be up and away for ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Matsuo started so well with plenty of strikes at the start of the game. Now just losing his control. Need to find something here on this pitch. And it is going to be a strike down Broadway for strike 2. To fill the count up. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Another payoff pitch here for Matsuo. It's going to be lifted up into the sky. Brad Zorn's going to be underneath it. And he makes the catch on the infield fly. So Laversha is retired regardless. And it will be the second out of the inning. So Matsuo retiring Laversha there. Very important out, that one. If they're to keep the 0 on the scoreboard. That's going to be Bailey Curtis to hit for the Vikings. Struck out in his first at bat in the second inning. Swings and misses at that offering. 0-1 for Curtis. And that ball's fisted into right field. Zach Newbold comes up with the ball, and it's going to be 2 runs for the Canterbury Vikings. So they've closed the margin to 1, 3-2 here in the top of the 4th inning. 2 RBI single for Bailey Curtis. Good piece of hitting there. Matsuo struggling to locate the strike zone. Found a pitch he wanted. And with 2 outs, runners would have been moving on contact. And they've put a 2 spot up here in the top of the 4th. My apologies, there was a defensive change at the start of this inning with Zach Newbold moving from left field to right field. Trent Nickel moving from third base to left field. And Mikey Amir coming into the game for Chris Corey, moving over to third base as Kazim Aida tries to backpick Bailey Curtis at first. 2 balls and a strike here for Kyle Yeo. And so we're looking for a ground ball to finish this inning, or a couple more swings like that for his 5th strikeout of the day, and finish his 4th inning, keeping Manly in front 3-2. So the 2-2 pitch for Yeo is a curveball missing outside. Just not able to paint the corner on that occasion. It's going to be a full count. Runners will go. And it is going to be a called strike 3. The curveball over the middle of the plate, ending the Canterbury threat, but they have scored 2. So after the top of the 4th, it's the Manly Eagles 3, Canterbury Vikings 2. Pitching change for the Canterbury Vikings. Rob Moyler, the DH, comes into the game to take over from Rocky Yates. Rocky Yates, 3 innings of work, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned with 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. He will be the pitcher of record for this one. Rob Moyler comes in on the back of an 8.78 ERA, 2 losses to his name. The regular starter for the Vikings with 5 of his 8 appearances, 4 starts, 27.2 innings with 41 hits, 27 of 30 runs earned. almost a 2-to-1 strike to walk ratio. 17 strikeouts and 9 walks. First batter he will face today is Kazu Maeda. And Kazu is ahead, 2 balls and 1 strike. A pitch on the outside for ball 3. 3-1 now for the Manly catcher. Zach Newbold on deck. And that'll be ball 4 for Kazu. He'll throw his back towards the dugout and take his place up on first base. So Zach Newbold singled to right field in his first at bat. He takes ball 1 upstairs. Zach knocking in manager Chris Corey. And he fouls that pitch off. 1 ball and a strike now. Nathan Howarth wearing the effects of that foul ball, so Bob Crawford will go out and deliver the ball and give the catcher a chance to compose himself. So 1-1 here for Zach. He lifts that one up high into the sky. That's going to be an easy catch for Miles Charby. Kazu hustles back to first base, and that'll be the first out of this bottom of the 4th inning. Brad Zorn walking out to the batter's box to the theme of Pokemon. Bit of a change from his usual song of Roses by Outkast. Especially requested by teammates Ashley Roberts and Trent Nickel. Bit of wind picking up around the ground. Check over at first by Moyler. Zorn takes that pitch from Moyler for ball 2. 2-0 now. Man, the Eagles first graders starting their warm-up preparations. Currently up in the cages hitting. And that's up for ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. And that ball will be down for ball 4. So Brad Zorn draws the 1-out walk. Kazu Maeda moving up to second base. Zorn back-to-back walks here today. Currently 0 for 1 with his ground out in his first at-bat. And Adam O'Neill will step up. Hit with a runner in scoring position. Looking to get those couple of runs back that the Vikings scored in the top of the fourth inning. And that pitch getting inside and taking Adam on the shirt front, so it'll load the bases. He'll go to Ben Sutton now. Doubled in his first at-bat before grounding at-bat in the second. But Manly have the bases loaded with only one out. He takes that in for a strike. Moyler will go from the wind-up. Now that the bases are loaded up, could give him a little bit of extra behind every pitch. And that ball is going to be down for ball one. One ball and a strike now for Ben Sutton. Kazu Maeda at third base. Brad Zorn at second. Adam O'Neill over at first. And that ball's down and in for ball two. 2 balls and a strike for Ben Sutton. Looking to do some damage here. Adam O'Neill, as we know, very speedy on the base paths. He'll be looking to take every base as possible to at least go first to third on anything hit to the outfield, possibly score on anything in a gap. As Moyler delivers the 2-1, and it's now 2-2 for Ben Sutton. Moyler definitely reaching back for a little bit extra now that he is in the wind-up. Beating the bat of Sutton there. And this one's going to be pulled to the third base side, but foul out of the reach of a diving Adam Musto.
We have just been told that the ice cream van, you get 2 for 1. So grandmum or dad would go over to the ice cream van and get 2 ice creams for the price of 1.
So Sutton, 2-2 count. Runners on all bases. Big opportunity to extend the lead. And that ball's going to be fouled off over our heads. Sutton will see a 6th pitch in this at bat. 7th correction. So the 2-2 coming from Rob Moyler. And that's going to be pulled foul again. So Sutton staying right on everything here. Doesn't want to get beaten with a big opportunity in front of him. So the 2-2 pitch here from Moyler again. And it's going to be called on the swing, strike 3. Good curveball by Rob Moyler. Throwing it on the outside corner. Gets Sutton to offer at it. And Bob Crawford said that it was enough to constitute a swing. And it's a big second out for Rob Moyler and the Canterbury Vikings here, as they hope to keep this game to a 1-run ball game. Eagles to get one more chance at least here with Daniel Goodsall. And that ball is going to be ripped foul. So plenty of balls pulled down the left field side. Manly hitters very eager, but too early at this stage. Just need to hold back a fraction. Look to drive the ball into the gap. Daniel Goodsall with the 0-1 pitch now. Jam shot. It's going to fall into the gap in right field. It's going to score 2 runs. Brad Zorn turning all the way around from second. And he will score. Little bleeder off the hands from Daniel Goodsall. And it's going to be a 2 RBI base hit. Adam O'Neill going first to third with 2 out. Manly extending the lead to 5-2 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Good at bat by Goodsall, fell behind, but did enough to put the ball in play. And he takes his place up at first. Goodsall's a very smart base runner. So may look to pick the pocket here of the Vikings and move himself up into scoring position. With the first baseman, Tom Butler, currently at the plate. He's behind, no balls and 1 strike. High strike call there. Correction, it's 1 ball and 1 strike now. First pitch was a ball. Chris Corey ejected for this game. No explanation as to why. So it's a second ejection for Chris Corey this year. Thrown out earlier against the Central Coast. Bob Crawford also involved in that game, but it was Paul Jones pulling the trigger on that occasion. So Chris Corey's afternoon is done. Massa Endo will take over at third base for the rest of this inning. He looks like he might be ready to come into the game onto the mound. Tom Butler now back to the action. Big swing and miss for strike 2. So a ball and 2 strikes. Young first baseman just needs to do the job here. Pierce the infield. Adam O'Neill will score from third. Moyler looking to finish this inning. And that'll hit Tom Butler on the elbow guard. And he'll take his place up at first base. Loading the bases in the progress. I'll bring up Trent Nickel for the Eagles. Grounded out and flied out in his 2 at-bats today. So he's 0 for 2. So for the second time this inning, Manly have runners on all the bases. And that pitch will be inside for strike one, rather. 1 ball and 1 strike. And that pitch in for strike 2. So ball and 2 strikes now for TJ Nicol. Just looking to put the ball in play, get it through the infield. Just like that. But it goes to Pearl. Wide, throw is wide, and it's going to drag Bailey Curtis off the base. And while he's arguing with the first base umpire, Mark Roberts, Daniel Goodsall, told you he was a crafty base runner. He comes all the way to score from second base. And the Eagles pick up another 2 runs. Goodsall just pausing at second for a moment and then coming in to score. Mikey Amir will bat for the first time today. He came in as a defensive replacement at the start of this inning. He replaced Chris Corey and took the position at third base. And he has a 1-1 count here in his first at-bat. He'll be the 9th hitter sent to the plate for the Eagles in the bottom of the 4th. And we're looking to tack on a couple of extra runs. Manly out to a 7-2 to lead here after that 2 RBI base hit. Maybe an error by Trent Nicol. Tough play by Josh Pearl. He had to deal with Daniel Goodsall on the base path in front of him. Just wasn't able to make a straight throw to the base. And it pulled Bailey Curtis off the base. And that ball is lifted foul, but far back enough. No, it's not. And he's going to be caught by Nathan Howarth. I saw Max Steer and Tom Newbold behind the fence scatter, but the ball stays in play. It's caught by Nathan Howarth. And after the 4th inning on the Procar Automotive scoreboard, the Manly Eagles lead 7-2. So Rob Moyler leading things off here, top of the 5th for the Canterbury Vikings. And on the 3-2 pitch, Leo Matsuo gets a swing. So that's the second time Moyler strikes out against his UNSW teammate. Leo Matsuo back out for his 5th inning of work. G'day to Charlie Brown watching in from home. Not able to be here today. Wish Charlie all the very best. Wish him a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we look forward to seeing him when the calendar turns to 2020. Leo Matsuo is certainly doing a good job in place of Adam Brown starting in this game. He's ahead 0-2 on Riley Taylor with 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes here for Riley Taylor. And that'll be in the dirt. Throw up the first base on the outside of the base to complete the strikeout. So back-to-back strikeouts for Leo Matsuo, making it 7 on the day. Miles Charby will bat here with 2 out. And he gets a first pitch ball to start his at bat. That is ball 2 up. So after striking out the first 2 batters, Matsuo goes away from what was working. Gives Charby a 2-0 head start, but fires back with that one for strike 1. Two balls and a strike now for Miles Charby, and that pitch is outside for ball 3. So 3-1. The broadcaster is definitely a handsome beast. Thank you, Adam Brown. Coming from one of the sexiest men in baseball himself. And Miles Charby will draw a walk, second time in as many at-bats. Charby led off the 4th inning with a walk, which started the mini recovery, scoring the first of the 2 runs the Vikings scored in the top of the 4th. He'll be hoping he can score the 3rd here and a few more for his Vikings team. So Leo just needs to regroup here. He does have 2 outs, so certainly in his favour. Just needs to work for a ground ball. Something soft on the infield. Pearl did single into left field in his last at-bat. Fouls that one over the Manly dugout. Foul. So 1 ball and 1 strike for Josh Pearl. That pitch in for strike 2. So a ball and 2 strikes for Matsuo. Pearl the batter. Leo just going a little bit lower on that one. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Max Milner making his way up to the Manly bullpen. Could see Max in the top of the 7th, and that pitch grounded through the left side in similar fashion as his last at bat. This one hit a little more softly, and he'll be aboard. So, bit of deja vu for these Canterbury hitters. A walk to Charby and a single into left field for Pearl. It's going to bring up Adam Musto. And he lifts that one foul. Max Milner in the bullpen making a good catch on that one. As a pitch he was throwing squirts out at the same time. Matsuo ahead on Musto here. No balls and 1 strike. Looking to get this inning finished. Get the Manly bats back in action and close out this ball game as time gets on. Big swing and miss by Musto. We won't have a new inning after 2:05, which is 22 minutes away. First grade scheduled to start at 2:30. Manly players just going through their warm-up routine at the moment. The crowd slowly gathering for the main game. Big day up here at Aquatic with some District Cup games, junior representative matches on the outer diamonds. So the canteen has certainly been busy, and there's plenty of those kids that have stuck around to watch the games up at Aquatic today. For the 2-2, grounded to Goodsall. He'll clean it up, throw it over the Butler at first, and that'll finish the top of the 5th. 5 good innings by Leo Matsuo. I thought he might have been done after the 4th, but he's really found his groove today. Plenty of strikes, a bunch of strikeouts. We may see him come out and start the 6th inning. But after the top of the 5th, man, the Eagles will come up to bat with the 7-2 advantage.
Now leading off the bottom of the 5th for your Manly Eagles, number 27, Kazu Maida.
So Kazu Maeda will lead things off here for the Eagles in the bottom of the 6th inning. And he'll take the first pitch from Rob Myler down for strike 1. One from Myler is down in the dirt for ball one, so evens the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kazu grounds the ball down to the left side. Musto, clean pick up across the diamond. Good pick by Bertie Curtis at first base to finish the out. First out on the bottom of the 6th inning. It's going to bring up Zach Newbold, 3rd time today. Single to right field, flown out to centre field. So 1 for 2. That one hit was an RBI, scoring Chris Corey. And Zach is ahead, 2 balls and no strikes. So 3-0 for Zach Newbold. And Moyler throws in a strike there to extend this at bat. 3 balls and a strike now for Zach Newbold. Looking to start the bottom of the 5th here, help Manly to themselves for a couple of extra raw runs, but that'll be a walk, and Zach will be aboard. So for the 4th time today, we hear the Pokemon Go theme song. That can only mean that Brad Zorn stepping up to the plate. 0 for 1 on the day with a pair of walks and a run scored. The first pitch that Brad sees is a called strike 1. Manly plays sharing the base coaching duties at 3rd base after the ejection of Chris Corey. Zorn lifts that one up into centre field. And it's going to be an easy catch for Miles Charby for the 2nd out of the inning.
Number 52, Adam O'Neill.
Adam O'Neill will step in. 2 out here, bottom of the 5th inning. Zach Newbold waits patiently over at first base. And Adam O'Neill takes ball 2 hop. 2 balls and no strikes. Ball 3 for Adam there. 3-0 for the Manly centre fielder. And that'll be ball 4. So a pair of walks here for the Eagles. So Manly with 2 runners on with 2 out. It's going to be Ben Sutton, looking to repeat his first at-bat of the day where he doubled to the centre field fence. Has grounded out and struck out since. Officially 1 for 3 on the day. And he does exactly that. Puts the ball into centre field on one bounce to Miles Jarvie, who comes up throwing. Fires the ball into home, but Zach Newbold scores all the way from second. And the Manly Eagles will go out 8-2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Luke Brown will come in and pinch run for Ben Sutton. First pitch by Daniel Goodsell pulled foul. A goodie behind 0-1, but a good sign is right on it. Lifts that ball into left field. That's going to get over the head. No, not quite. Mike Laversha tracking that one down. Hanging up in the breeze a little bit in left field. And that's going to end the 5th inning. Manly Eagles with another run there, and they currently lead 8-2 on the Procar Automotive scoreboard. So pitching change here for the Manly Eagles in the top of the 6th inning. Leo Matsuo, 5 very strong innings. 4 hits, only 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts. So a good return to form for Leo Matsuo. It's going to be Max Milner to come out and close this one out. It's going to be the catcher, Nathan Howarth, to face Milner here. Milner made a brief outing in yesterday's under-18 game. And he takes strike 1 on the knees. Howarth fouling that one off, so he's behind quickly. No balls and 2 strikes. That ball hit to Daniel Goodsall at second base. Athleticism showed there by Tom Butler. Terrible throw from Goodsall, but Butler gets vertical, makes the catch, and comes down on the base. That'll be the first out of the top of the 6th inning. Mike Laversha will bat here with 1 out. He takes ball 1. Down for ball 3. And the 3-0 pitch, Laversha misses outside. Max Milner setting up a ground ball double play to end this game here this afternoon. We've got first grade action half an hour away. Manly side getting their tosses in behind the batting cage. Vikings also warming up with some peppers in the right field spectator area as Max Milner misses down on Bailey Curtis with the ball. That one missing inside for ball 2. Milner making an appearance in first grade a fortnight ago against the Central Coast, striking out the side on retiring the side on 8 pitches. Be tough to strike out the side on only 8 pitches. Did have a strikeout in that appearance, and that ball misses down for ball 3. So 3 balls, no strikes. Check over at first. And that'll be inside for ball 4. So 8 straight balls, back-to-back walks. And bring up the right fielder, Kai Yeo. Endo just coming out to have a chat with Max Milner. Get him to compose himself. Max just setting up a double play. It wasn't easy enough the first time with the runner on first. Should be a little bit easier now with runners on first, on second. Kyle Yeo now. Struck out in his 2 at-bats today. And Milner misses down with ball 1. Ball 2 is up. And ball 3 is in the dirt. Endo stretching over in the Manly dugout. Looks like he'll be the man to come on and get the last 2 outs here. And he finds his spot. So after 11 straight balls, Max Milner's on the scoreboard. And he's got Kyle Yeo here, 3 balls and 1 strike. One out here in the top of the 6th inning. But that ball's going to get away for ball 4. Endo just doing his final stretches. He's going to let Milner go one more batter. That's going to be a pinch hitter for the Vikings in the way of Wes Nowak. Came in as a substitution in the 3rd grade game. He's going to bat with the bases loaded. Vikings trailing 8-2. That pitch low for ball 1. And there is a strike from Milner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ball down for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Endo just being asked by home plate Bob Crawford to move to the bullpen if he's going to throw. And there is a foul. Lined over to the right side. So 2 balls and 2 strikes for Milner. Potentially 1 pitch away from finishing this game off. Milner sets with a 2-2 count. Ball just missing inside. 3-2. So the payoff pitch here for Milner is down for ball 4. Bob Crawford has been very consistent at that spot all day, and that doesn't change on this occasion. And it looks like Endo will come into the game as he runs down from the bullpen. So Max Milner will make way for Massa Endo. Milner leaving the bases loaded. Just not able to locate the strike zone. And it's going to be Massa Endo to come on to pitch and hopefully close this game out for the Eagles. Currently hold an 8-3 lead. So it will be the first grade manager Massa Endo to come out and close this one out for the Eagles. So to interrupt his preparations for the first grade game. And his first pitch to Riley Taylor is a ball. Taylor struck out on all three occasions against Leo Matsuo. Endo fires in a strike to even the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. And that one will hit Taylor on the shoulder. So Taylor's first appearance on base today. So the Vikings will send a tying run to the plate. Max Milner still on the hook for the runners at third and second. And it's going to be Miles Charby, who has walked twice and fouled out to the catcher, Kazu Maeda. And he takes a first pitch ball. That ball lifted foul. Just out of the range of Mikey Amir. He did a great job getting back on that one. Just swirled around. So a ball and a strike for Miles Charby. And Miles Charby is going to cop one in the foot. So the go-ahead run now will come up to bat. Tying run in the form of Miles Charby stands on first base. And Josh Pearl, who is 3 for 3 today, he will hit with the bases loaded. It's been a nightmare 6th inning for the Eagles. They got the first out of the inning, but since then have walked 3 and hit 2. Sorry, walked 4 and hit 2. That ball hit to Amir. He's got a rundown going on, and there's going to be only 1 out. Good base running by Riley Taylor. Took the double play out of action. It's an RBI on the fielder's choice. So Pearl's perfect day will be broken up on the fielder's choice, but he will have a 3 for 4 day. And I'll bring up Adam Musto. And that ball hit to Daniel Goodsall. Gets through. Goodsall into centre field. It's going to see another run scored, but the out will be recorded at third base. Bob Crawford scores the run at home. The Manly Eagles will hold on. It's going to be an 8-7 victory. The 7th run scoring just before the third out was made at third base. A great throw by Adam O'Neill and a great tag by Mikey Amir to play the out at third base. Billy Green at third base on the spot to make the call. The Eagles have held on. They've given up 5 in the last. But 5 strong innings from Leo Matsuo. The bullpen having a minor capitulation. But the Eagles will head into Christmas with a 5-5 record. They will jump ahead of the Central Coast, who don't play this weekend. Josh Pearl going 3 for 4, the standout hitter for the Vikings. Ben Sutton, the pick for the Eagles, going 2 for 4 with a double and a single, both at centre field. Chris Corey and Zach Newbold also with RBI singles. But the Eagles have got it done here. Masa Endo will pick up the save. Leo Matsuo the win, and the Eagles take the victory 8-7. We'll be back in about 15 minutes for the first grade game, so grab yourself some lunch, get a couple of extra beers on the ice, and we'll see you back for the first grade at 2:30.